Um, and I'd probably note that the two generally unconscious people were part of such gang.
Okay.
That the person I took the picture of is such gang, and uh, that's really about it.
Oh yeah. All right. One of the questions is, do you know, was it just a regular mugging or were they after something specific?
Um, it sounded specific. Since they seem to be focusing on one area, but in general, I wasn't exactly sure what they were after.
All right. What do you mean by they were specific to one area?
A lot of them were focused towards the. I was separated from the group. He was focused towards more of the other three, and I'm unsure exactly where their main focus was.
All right. Okay. So whenever there's time, the guards don't really track down Mila just yet. But since both Tom and Al are in the clinic, once they're done searching out, they will have a few questions for you as well. The first and foremost one is we'll start with Tom.
Mhm.
Uh, First and foremost, the question will be, um, did you know these men?
No,
Okay. Do you have any reason why anyone would want to attack you in broad daylight?
no, not really.
Do you have anything that they were after? Your friend there said looks like they were focusing on you and a few of your other friends.
They gave us a chance to run away, and then they immediately started attacking us.
Wait, 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 wait. They gave you all a chance to run away, so they just
Yeah,
wanted to
and
scare you?
they wanted something off of Al. I don't know what it was, but they started yelling at me and a couple of my friends. They wanted Al to stay there, and they told us to get the hell out, and they just started attacking us right then and there.
Your friend. Oh, all right. Um, Very well. We might have to just ask your friend Al a few questions too.
Okay.
And they say, "Excuse me, Doc.
Yes. How can I help you?
Um, you seem to you seem to be a little bit busy, but we're wondering if we just ask you a few questions. We're just talking with your friends, and it made it sound like that these individuals who attacked you was looking for you specifically. Do you have any enemies? Do you know these people?
Enemies? Not really any enemies I can think of, short of a few patients that weren't happy with the medicine I gave them. No, my guess would be they were after this, and I hold up my right arm. It still kind of has the glove off, so they can see it's bionic. The attacker there, and point to the little girl, aimed
Hmm.
for my right bicep. My assumption is that she was going to try and cut my tendon so that I couldn't use it. And of course, theft of Borg body parts is not an uncommon thing.
Ah, fucking cyber snatchers. God damn it. All right. Yeah, that would explain a whole lot. All right, we'll let you folks know when we catch them, and if you need any other help, let us know. Apologies for the disturbance here. We like to keep parents posted pretty tight shit, but can't control everything, I guess.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And one guy turns to the other and says, "Hey, let's ask question that drunk too. I don't like the convenience of everything. He might be a part of their crew as well, purposely trying to draw us away." Everyone says nods and says, "Yeah, I was thinking the same thing." So it's a few more minutes pass. It's been about probably around 15, 20-ish minutes since the initial gathering over at the clinic.
Mhm.
Is there anything else you guys would like to do? Um,
Yes. Oh,
okay.
no, but let the others go first.
I was
All
gonna
right.
say, Mila's gonna be walking down towards the clinic holding Jackie.
Okay, cool. Patrick, when you kind of look around the general area where you were before, and you come across Mila.
Yay!
Hi, Patrick.
How's the little squirrel buddy doing?
Still sleeping. He's
Alright.
so tired.
Yeah.
I really should ask Al for that book.
Where are the others?
They are talking with a nice gentleman and fixing up a few cuts and scrapes and things like that.
Oh,
You
that
know,
sounds pretty
usual
boring.
owl stuff.
He's such a kidder. Wake up! Mila's shaking a squirrel.
The robot does not respond.
Keep trying, Mila. You'll find out one way or another.
God.
I just didn't. I thought it might work, but it didn't. Mila looks disappointed and kind
Try
of.
look for an on and off switch, and I'll go back and.
Mila lifts the tail up and looks at its butt.
No, off switch. Although the squirrel does not actually have a butt per se, biologically speaking. Like it has haunches, but since the robot doesn't need to excrete, you don't have to worry so much about that. But no, you don't find an on-off switch underneath
Mila's
its
kind
tail.
of snickering like squirrel butt.
Okay.
And she just starts cuddling it and following.
I'm
Patrick.
gonna go back to Al and ask if I can have the book to at least turn on the squirrel.
Sure. Al would hand over the book. Have fun with it, but yeah, have fun with it. Is Mila with you? Like, I mean, I'm not asking because
Yeah,
obviously
yeah,
I'll know
yeah.
or not. Okay.
Yeah.
He
Sitting
would
right beside.
he would still look at Mila a little hurt, but kind of just hand Patrick the book and say, "There's something I really need to take care of with this one," and kind of point to the small girl. So have fun with the book, and then where's the doctor?
You are the
Doctor right
doctor.
now.
No,
No,
doctor.
the doc.
No, he's not.
Dr. Elias is right now setting the woman's jaw, like resetting it into her skull and treating that wound.
So he is
oh,
he
God.
out of
Both these criminal patients have been handcuffed to their beds as well, and each of them has a guard waiting for them to regain consciousness.
Mila's kind of gonna scrunch up her face like, ooh, what happened to her?
Nice.
All right. So is the doctor within earshot of the other patient?
Yes. This is not a really small clinic,
Okay.
but since they want to contain the two individuals together, they're only a few bed distances apart, frankly. So, yeah, he's within earshot, and
Alright.
the guards are within earshot.
I'll just have to wait till later then.
Okay. All right. Now, do you guys want to hang around the clinic until they regain consciousness? What do you want to do? How do you want to spend the later part of this afternoon? Let's just ask.
Mila's just gonna sit in front of Patrick, who's reading the book.
Okay. So, are you going to are you going to be reading the book in the clinic, or are you going to be reading the book someplace else?
Wherever the group may be, I will probably
So-
just move with them if they
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
she'll just follow him then.
Okay. All right. How Al, Tom?
Um,
what do you want to do?
I'm fine. Just traveling with them. I do want to talk to Mila a bit.
Okay.
Hmm?
You can pull her aside for a private conversation.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't
Did
even.
we end up?
Hmm?
Sorry, did we end up getting a date and time of when our appointment is for the cyberdoc?
No, you didn't. But we'll say he'll fit you in tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll say Tom, he'll do. Okay, yeah. We'll make an appointment. All right. So Tom, he's gonna fit you in the morning.
Mhm.
Patrick, he's gonna fit you in the afternoon. And Al, he's gonna fit you in since of everything there. It will be the entire day. He's taking a full day project on you.
Got
so
it.
That'll be the following day. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah.
I want to pull Mila a little bit away and just kind of like Al has trouble trying to figure out how to say this, which is very unfamiliar territory for Al, believe me. And
I
he,
want you to want me.
no.
Oh God.
No. But he seems very uncomfortable, and he's like, Mila, you had every right to be upset at that girl. She hurt you, and I get that. And believe me when I tell you, if I had to, I would have killed them. But, and he kind of gets like, it's hard for him to talk. I have hurt a lot of people in my life. And the only way I live with that fact is by healing as many as I can. And I need you to understand that.
Al, I didn't hurt Jackie. I must have just dropped her. I'm sorry. I don't. She's just the robot. She
And
can't-
Al looks so confused. No, not Jackie.
What?
The girl that kicked you in the stomach earlier.
What? Mila's just gonna like kind of like raise an eyebrow, like, what are you talking about?
Nice.
Well, I'm glad we had this conversation.
Okay. Mila's just like, whatever. Goes back over to Patrick. Then like, you figure out how to turn it on.
And Al just like shakes his head, like looks up at the sky, like what?
What the fuck is going on?
Patrick is deep within reading this, hearing Mila even speak, not understanding what she said.
Hey,
Stops
like, no,
reading, and goes,
Reading.
"What?"
Did you figure out how to turn her on?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, but I think we need to program a few things before we just kind of flip around.
Nice, nice. Very, very, very wise. So, let's just spend the next little time. So, I'm assuming then you're going to be hanging around the clinic then, okay? Unless you guys say otherwise, all right? So, typically the guards, the doctor doesn't mind you being there as long as you're relatively quiet, which you are, relatively, because it's always handy to have another doctor around. The guards don't mind because they want to do follow-up questions and you're all in one place, so that's quite convenient for them. So we're going to say some time, a little bit of time has passed, and enough to get some initial information for Patrick from the book. Sure enough, you do know how to operate it. It does have an on switch underneath its left front, I guess you could say, like arm, so to speak. There's just a little sensor there that you can touch to turn it on. And your robotic squirrel is very, very programmable. This is what we're going to do just to make things a little bit easier, all right? Over the next couple days, your group, either through Patrick or through Al, or probably both, who are going over this tome, you'll be able to discover a few things about Jackie. First things, her capabilities. I'm going to just bring up the invoice that I made just to kind of give you as a refresher course of what Jackie is capable of. So, let's see here. Where is my robot invoice? There it is. Okay. So, clearly it is a small rodent. It is completely synthetic fur and skin. Even its eyes and little tiny claws look exactly like a squirrel's. All right? It has a 3-year life, and it runs on a nuclear power supply. Okay? Jackie's intelligence is a simple artificial intelligence. So your understanding is that the squirrel can understand English and Techno can. It can understand it completely, but it doesn't communicate on its own outside of like animal-like sounds. All right? It can obey complex commands programmed or instructed by its owners. It has a programmable behavior matrix. So what you want to program into it is who it considers owners, right? So that's the first question. Who's considered Jackie's owners? She can have multiple owners or just a single owner. Who do you want to program as her owner to take instructions from, commands from?
I would say the whole group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that count Alicia as well?
Sure, she's part of the group.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I just want to make sure.
And that guy,
Um,
that random guy right
That guy,
The drunk
doctor's
guy, he's like, what?
I just want to take off my clothes and party, but now I got a squirrel. All right. Anyway,
Get me more beer.
now here's the thing: the Jackie also has a variety of subroutines. So Jackie can be affectionate, friendly, guarded, suspicious. You can have her pretty much act almost like an actual squirrel. There is that behavioral subroutine in it. Reading through the book, you can actually program. It takes a little bit of time, and you'll have to use your computing programming skill there, Patrick. But you can actually program like a very custom personality.
I can make it dance.
Like, yeah, like literally, you could do that. It does. That's not part of its actual plan, but you can be like, "Hey, look what I can do, Jackie, get down," and then it starts dancing. You can definitely do that if you want. So as far as its sensors and optics, it does have a basic listening system, so stereo hearing capable equal to the best human capabilities. And she also has a narrowband radio receiver, which is good for up to 5 miles. She has an audio and video recorder, so it's a disc recording system. By depressing on a special section of Jackie, the back of her pops up, kind of the synthetic fur kind of separates, and a little drive pops up where you can load and retrieve audio video discs. Now, they're like DVDs, but they're very, very small. They're only about 1 inch in circumference. Okay?
Can I want to really focus on the ability to use my audio and when it gets installed video implant to see what she is seeing at the time. So like focus heavily on that one.
That is tricky. Okay, so that's tricky. You don't have that capability. What you can do is she can record what she's doing and then play back the recording. If you want a special interaction between the robot and your eye, your cyber eye, it was mentioned before that it is a very high price capability. So you'll have to just go back to CyberWorks.
But it was in the
that.
original
No.
contract I gave you, I thought. I asked for that ability.
Okay. Playing back the actual section.
Mm-hmm.
What happened is that he said the original guy who gave you the thing, he said, listen, I can do this recording thing for you. Getting to interact with that requires special cybernetics that only very specific individuals can do. If you do this task for me, I can see what I can do to help you out. Otherwise, it's going to be a very expensive procedure. I also outlined everything in the invoice and gave it to you individually as players, and you all said, thumbs up, no problem.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I'm looking over the invoice now, so my apologies for that.
So, like, I'm not saying it can't be done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying you just have to put a little bit more time and effort for it to happen. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and obviously, it has advanced robot optic systems, and it has its defensive systems. So, you want to make sure you want to program the microflash. So, you can program when Jackie is either threatened or a very specific verbal command, or even some other type of auditory command, and she can emit a sudden bright flash, very similar to, your ring or a flashbang. And it will stun and disorient any creature with visual systems within a 10-foot radius. And she has little tiny claws, too, which can actually be used to defend the unit. Out of character notes, too, she sustains F50 MDC. 30 MDC will render her inoperative. 50 MDC will completely destroy the unit. Okay? The cosmetic features, like the synthetic skin and fur and everything like that, they're not made of MDC materials. So if she gets shot with a laser pistol, it will scorch through that and show the robotic, exoskeleton underneath. So, but yeah, that's Jackie. Did you have any questions about your robot?
Can we give her commands remotely through, say, like a radio or walkie-talkie type thing?
You better believe it. She does have a radio receiver, so yep, definitely.
She
And
sit on my shoulder.
she has animal intelligence level AI. So can she get happy or sad on her own? I mean, does it simulate that kind of thing, or?
Now this is interesting. That's not normal part of her normal behavior subroutine at all. But Patrick thinks that he can probably program it to at least she won't really feel it, but she can emulate it to make it look like she's so like very, very complex programming, right? Like
Mhm.
if this facial reaction happens and this situation happens, then give sad small sound and hang head low or something like that. Like he has to program something very, very specific. I'll have him like roll a few programming checks, but yeah, that can definitely be programmed into her. As an artificial intelligence, she doesn't actually feel emotions, but she can emulate them.
Because I think it would be cool, and I hope everyone agrees with me, if it's almost like she's the pet, and the pet can have its own emotions and feel its own things, even if it's just emulating them. So we could actually say, Jackie, are you happy today? And Jackie could be like, yes or no, depending on...
Yes. Well,
Jackie happy? No, she doesn't. Remember, she doesn't communicate. Although that would be fucked up.
Hello, my name is Jackie.
Does she... that's another good question, I guess. She only communicates in animal noises. Now, like, is it specific... How to put this? Like, a certain noise could mean yes, and a certain noise could mean no. Like, very general things like that? Or...
Yeah, delving into the program, you can see probably a variety of at least 50 or more different specific squirrel-like sounds. And they're all distinct, even though some are pretty similar to the other, with a small tinge of it. But you can easily program it into, or have it be programmed into, being like, yeah, this is a happy noise, right?
Yeah.
That's
And
definitely possible.
You could also be a bit more complicated with it and go, this is a happy noise, accompanied with a certain tail twitch, and then I am really happy, or I am kind of sad, or that kind of thing.
Affirmative. Jackie is happy today.
Can we program I am contemplative?
Yeah, you
No.
can program. You can program a whole lot.
I was kidding. I don't even know how someone would...
It
a squirrel would look
takes time, of
contemplative.
course, to do it. But I don't know. Tilts his head to the side, brings a little paw to his.
Yeah, it just
lip.
does a little I'm thinking statue.
Aw.
Yeah, no. The behaviors are definitely programmable. The defaults are customizable, but that's what digging through that 250-page guide kind of gives you some guidance on. So,
Mhm.
yeah, but very much so. Very, very much so. Like I said, it takes a couple days, so to speak, to unravel all this, but you're all good. And I'm sorry if I misleaded you on the whole like live feed type of thing, but I thought I made it pretty clear that it's possible, but it's a rare procedure.
It was... I'll put it this way. Either I was incredibly ignorant or it wasn't made clear, because that was my whole gist of getting the squirrel, was the live feed. That was my entire... the thing I wanted. So
well, you'll be able to get it done. But
I don't mind at all.
right now, you'll just have to go on a recording.
I don't mind at all, and I'm quite sure it's probably less to do... It was probably more to do with me just missing the point. So, because I know myself well enough to know that's very, very possible.
Okay.
One
like,
thing...
like I'm saying just clear, like it's not in the fucking books,
Mhm.
so I have to make it up, which means it's not a common procedure typically in this world with this level of technology. But with the rest, everything's possible. You just got to find a way and a how.
There is one thing I'd like to do as soon as possible. And
Okay.
that would be the only way I can see to do this besides, say, sneaking in at night and causing problems, is I need alone time with the girl to ask questions about her true purpose, because Al doesn't see coincidence in anything, but he doesn't want to do that when there's a bunch of guards around. And it occurs to me that I really could just kind of go to Perrin and kind of explain the situation and say, I need 5 minutes alone with her.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, let's just go through the timeline of what's going to be happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, both captured individuals. So, tell you what, I'm going to tell you what happens in the next, say, 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
If at any point feel free to stop me, anybody, if your characters are going to be doing anything specific. All right.
Mhm.
But this is kind of like the general timeline. All right. So it takes about 20 minutes or so, and the first, like the petite girl that was rendered unconscious due to the neuroblade, wakes up. She is not receptive to the guard's questioning and is maintaining innocence. After being evoked, like through smelling salts or an injection, the one with the broken jaw also wakes up, but she is not communicative. Not because she doesn't want to, it's because her jaw is literally wired shut. And they try to get her to write something, but she doesn't know. She's not literate. She doesn't know how to write or read. So the guards don't get a whole lot of leads there. Within the hour, they are able to track down 5 of the 6 escaped culprits. The one who was pretending to be drunk has evaded. He was kind of just put into a holding cell, and he actually managed to escape. And the one that you're assuming is the leader had managed to evade the lockdown of Perrin's Post, and he can't be found. But over the next hour to about 3 hours, all the other individuals, aided by Patrick's photographic evidence and other descriptions, they're able to be apprehended. They're all being held, with the exception of the 2 that are still in the clinic. They are all being held in a secure location. I didn't really mark it on Perrin's Post because kind of the local jail isn't a common sight. But you see where like number 3 is and where the road ends to like just a blank area?
Mhm.
Like, oh wait, I could actually just point because I have the technology there. That's where the holding cells are. All right. So, of course, Perrin likes to be involved in everything. So probably the next day he's going to kind of come up with some sort of judgment or determining on what to do with these guys. Here's the thing, though. As far as the individuals in the clinic, they are going to be under guard 24/7. Not because they're afraid of anyone getting to them, but because the one who is pretending to be the drunk, the militia, and Perrin in particular, are pissed that he managed to escape. Because he shouldn't have been able to, frankly. And they're also worried that the head honcho managed to evade capture as well. They're all scouring the around lands. The individual farmsteads and other people who live outside Perrin's Post have been told to report to anyone if anyone suspicious comes on by. But what's complicating thing is just the sheer amount of travelers that are coming on as well, right? But anyway, there is no clear way for you to just go in like at night or anything like that without a guard being around. So you might have to take extra steps.
Mhm.
Okay?
Okay, then I quite simply just want to request an audience with Perrin.
Okay.
And when I have Perrin there, basically say, I have a favor to ask.
Okay.
As you know, we were attacked by the group of mercenaries, bandits, whatnot.
Cyber snatchers.
Cyber snatchers.
I'm sorry for that too. I try to have my guards be a little bit more particular, but they got distracted by the whole fucking streaker thing. So
It's fine. Our party managed to get through it better than they did. But I don't believe in coincidences.